Man, I've only been playing Dying Light this year, but so far it's been one of the best games I've played in a while. I think what a lot of people can agree on is that the story isn't the best part of this game, but hey, here's the story of Dying Light according to me. We start our adventure by jumping out of an airplane and greeting the locals of Haran. Fortunately, the rival faction comes to the rescue and we all get out alive. Well, at least for the characters that matter. Crane recovers from his wounds, but after getting to know the tower's people, they sure like to bring up what a burden he is to them.
One fewer doses of antizin. One more new infected.
Amir died because of this guy? Quiet. Now he's gonna get Amir's antizin.
To make up for this, I helped a survivor cornered by a zombie.
You had to kill him, didn't you? That was my brother.
Yeah, sorry about that. His woes do not end there because he also sustained a bloody arm. We call for help, but the man suggests
Gauze, and alcohol.
Now we're ready to party. Luckily, these items were in the vicinity and we were able to combine them to make a med pack, which makes sense, I guess.
Gauze and alcohol, huh? Pretty primitive, but it'll work.
Yeah, so is not washing your hands before touching an open wound, Doc. I mean, I don't know what we should be more afraid of, the zombies or hepatitis.
Hepatitis C!
Well done, 31.
Later, I learned the basics of free running.
You want to feel right at home? A crane? On a crane!
Very funny, Raheem. After parkour class, I spent some time unlocking chests and looting alcohol from corpses. On second thought, maybe these guys are just drunk. The next task had me set up light traps for my fellow runners, but I was set back by this tricky jump. But 1, 2, 3, 4 times the charm. I'm about to finish my day, but then Shaq comes out of nowhere to talk about general insurance.
My toes!
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the general and save some time!
I tried to back away, but Shaq insisted that other companies have explosively high payments. After giving him the slip and interrupting an intimate moment, I managed to restore the power and go to bed. Hopefully there's no green zombies watching me sleep.
Oh shit!
The tower is in desperate need for some antizin, so I head out to find some airdrops. The first one is taken by Rais's men.
Okay, don't try to fight them.
That's okay, Jade. I found a gun. This airdrop had some goodies in it, but no antizin, so it was off to the last one. We get there right before nightfall, but our GRE agency tells us,
so if you find an airdrop containing antizin,
destroy it.
Sure does sound like we're working for the good guys. Crane destroys the antizin and slips an obvious red herring into his pocket.
Jade, I'm at the airdrop. There's no antizin here.
Done?
Yeah, all these cases just flew out of the airdrop and stacked neatly into this dumpster fire. Don't look into it.
Here's Johnny!
After swapping out my underwear, I skip past some volatiles and reach that sweet, comforting purple light. Not tonight, Discount Predator. Thanks to us screwing over the tower, Crane offers to negotiate with Rais for more antizin.
Are you serious?
Didn't take much convincing either.
Well, I'm not gonna argue.
That was easy.
I'm greeted by Rais's henchmen who have a weird obsession with Bumblebee-themed aesthetics. At least Rais can sell merch when this is all over.
What have I been saying for years? What makes a good terrorist organization?
Brand recognition.
Brand recognition.
We finally meet Rais to see if he needs a hand with anything in exchange for antizin.
Was that my left or your left?
After some subtle foreshadowing, we receive our first task to turn on the radio tower. When we get there, we run into a zombie that looks like me after eating too much Chipotle.
Oh, what the hell?
I defeat the bean burrito zombie before climbing up the tower and... oh. Hey there. I make it to the top of the tower, but the game needs to be a little longer, so up we go to another radio transmitter on the other side of the map. Boy, I sure hope this becomes a common quest.
Oh shit.
We get back to Rise, but all we get is an attaboy before he ships us off to the next objective. This time we get to extort some of the smaller villages. Crane doesn't like the idea, but if you're going to be a heartless degenerate, you may as well have some fun with it.
How about I break both your legs and drag you through the streets back to Rice's place, huh?
You're gonna bleed us dry.
That is entirely not my problem. Rise wants his payment, so you make the payment or things get bad for you. And your woman. Don't need to point out how easy it would be to set this entire place on fire. Jesus Christ.
We return to Rais once again, but lo and behold, he stifles us with just a few vials of antizin. And to believe Crane thought this guy was a straight shooter. This is bad news for the tower because the entire 16th floor had turned while I was busy collecting books for a thirsty handyman.
Wet Dream, the first romance novel for plumbers, good God. Simple tricks to get the chicks. How to look good over 40. Big butt bonanza, nice.
It only gets worse because now the GRE has stopped broadcasting updates on antizin. Needless to say, Brecken's not taking it too well.
This is where we get the announcements about the antizin drops. And they've just stopped. What the fuck, Crane?
We then meet up with Raheem on top of the roof, which we all know is the best place to start drinking. Especially when the building is about 20 stories high.
Shit, oh my...
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
He tells us his plan about blowing up a nearby volatile nest to make night missions easier, but we'll get back to that later. In the meantime, we're going on the offensive against Rais. I meet Jade in a boxcart just outside of one of Rais's supply dumps. After a quick little meet cute, Jade disappears quicker than the Dark Knight himself. I thought we'd be working on this together, but I see the devs didn't have time to finish your gameplay animations.
We should use different entrances. We'll cover more ground, and we'll make less noise moving separately.
I'm sure that's the reason why you went on ahead.
Another dead end.
Okay. Shit. You'll have to come in the way I did.
Right. And thanks for the heads up on that zombie, too. I clear these old classrooms quicker than the lyrics of Pumped Up Kicks since these guards have little to no self-preservation. Well, except for this one.
Peace? That's not right.
Finally, we find Jade opening the last storage case. There's no antizin, but we do find the next best thing.
Holy shit. Plastic explosives, right?
Alright, listen, you take this stuff and get back to the tower. I'll deal with these assholes.
Don't be ridiculous. We'll fight them together.
Jade. Did you forget that I have a gun?
Oh, you want to be friends, huh? Wait a tick. I'm not falling for that again.
With the bomb secured, we can focus our efforts on finding a vaccine. Dr. Zera asks us to track down a sample from a new type of zombie that looks like the mucus I blow out of my nose when I'm sick in the shower.
Okay, Doc. Here comes your chunk of zombie guts.
Dr. Zera informs that this is the data that is key to stopping the virus. But unfortunately, he needs equipment that only Dr. Camden has access to. Crane volunteers to get him the data, but before we can set foot outside the slums, Raheem radios us that he's in deep trouble.
Crane, you there? Omar and I went to blow up that nest. Listen, we messed up. Messed up bad.
He took the bombs to blow up the hive nest, but got pinned down. We get there as soon as we can, blowing up zombies and facing a reused animation.
I didn't think I'd make it, so I armed the bombs. They'll blow in less than 5 minutes.
And why would you do that, Raheem? If you died, we could have still picked up the bombs off your corpse and blew the hive anyway. I placed the charges around the building and accomplished the job in record time thanks to speed and zombie gut camouflage. We get back to Raheem, but...
Oh, Raheem! Oh, you should have seen it! Oh, God. The whole damn building came down! Oh, shit! No, Raheem, stop! Raheem, it's me!
Looks like the only cure here is a trip to the chiropractor.
Raheem, stop!
Crane is obviously upset as he recreates my reaction when I play against shit-talking kids on Call of Duty.
You goddamn stupid fucking kid!
And Crane isn't the only one mourning Raheem's death. Brecken is feeling the loss too.
He frustrated the shit out of me sometimes. I loved him like he was my own kin. Another dead friend.
The city.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how we're gonna tell Jade. Oh, how long were you standing there for? Jade overreacts and runs away, advancing the plot for later.
She needs to grieve.
Whoa. Sarah! Shit!
Get down there! We can't let them take it!
Rais invades Zara's lab, but thankfully these guys haven't upgraded to guns yet. Fortunately, they've already taken Dr. Zara, so we set off to Rais's base immediately.
Brecken, the garrison's shut down. The doors are sealed off. I don't think I can get in.
Find another way in then. Check the back, but don't take any stupid chances.
I'm going in.
Just keep your eyes open. Good luck in there.
You okay, Brecken? Your accent is slipping a little. I sneak my way up these carefully designed balconies until I realize I can just Arkham my way through this level.
What is this shit?
I'm vengeance.
I shoot my way through more of Rais's goons to save Dr. Zara, but it's really all for nothing.
Doc?
Off to the pit I go, I guess. Crane manages to get a good lick in on Rais, but thankfully the man prefers to blame his loyal allies. We have to fight off a gigantic zombie juiced up more than the Hulk with only a machete. We succeed, but instead of sniping Crane from the vantage point, Rais decides to jump down instead with his gunman and monologue like the good 80s villain he is.
Chaos, Crane. Chaos is the one true order of things. But to pretend otherwise is the sheerest folly.
For Rais's sake, I hope Crane doesn't summon his inner John Wick. All Rais needs to do now to complete his villain arc is vengefully call out the protagonist's name. Crane! We are unable to save Zara, so Crane runs for his life through a hail of bullets.
Shit! Almost got me.
We escape, but zombie infection is starting to creep up on us. If only we had an antizin vial handy. Crane's in danger of passing out among the zombies, but when he does succumb, he is conveniently saved by Brecken and the tower. Don't worry, developers. I made sure to jump into a safe zone to make this more believable.
Oh, my stomach.
Crane makes a full recovery despite no one injecting him with any antizin. Brecken informs us that Jade had run off to give Dr. Zara's research to Dr. Camden, which doesn't really make any sense because she was running the opposite direction right when Dr. Zara was being kidnapped. Plot convenience. We then meet Haran's little underground railroad to transport us out of Haran.
So did you take Jade through too? Who? She's from here. Dark hair, pretty, tough as nails.
3-time world kickboxer, goes by the Scorpion. Her face is plastered all over the city. Come on, Crane, do you even know who Jade is?
We need to do this one by one, and this man needs to go first.
But he just got here. We've been here for hours.
That's right, peasant. Next time get the Disney Fast Pass. This is no VIP treatment, however, since I have to grapple and camouflage my way through smelly sewer zombies. Rais's men try to gun us down, but luckily Crane's detective vision makes fighting in the dark super easy. We finally make it to the main city where we find our contact Troy.
It's good to finally put a face with the voice.
Great choice of words, Crane. Troy contacts Jade over the radio, but Crane jumps the gun.
Jade? Hey, it's Crane.
Stay away from me. I hear your voice, and all I can see is my brother.
Jade, you've had like 3 brief conversations with Crane. I think you latch onto people too quickly. Anyway, while Jade's out there fucking around, we learn that the government is going to destroy the quarantine zone, believing that there are no survivors. The plan is to create an SOS to show the public that there are still people living in this area. We head off to meet our boy Michael to pick up the explosives.
I'm glad she didn't see me jump like that. She'd never take me seriously. You met her. That's why I volunteered for this.
Wait, so you're risking your life with a horde of flesh-eating zombies to impress a girl?
I think there's a word for people like you. We travel by elevator to the 5th floor where it abruptly—
What the? Damn it. Something must have blocked this shaft.
Hey, how you doing?
We scale the elevator, no thanks to the tic-tac skill, and set the bombs on the respective stoves just before we run into this little monster.
Is that a child crying?
The kid brings in more zombies, but we're able to fend them off enough to get our bearings. Then we treat the zombie like a mother would with postpartum psychosis. The plan goes off without a hitch, creating this huge frowny face on the side of the building. It was all for naught though, because I guess this pilot was waiting all day for that to happen. It's not all bad news for Crane though, because Jade agrees to finally meet with us. We get to the meetup point, but looks like Rais got there first.
Jade! Jade!
I just want to know where he got all this blood from. Knowing Rais, he probably shot the guy who forgot the pain and just used him. Also, he probably should have wrote Stinger instead of Sting, because, I don't know, it just doesn't look right the way he wrote it. Fun fact, the scorpion stinger is called the Telson. We find Jade, but she's merely bait for the trap. Rais sends in a cavalry of zombies while he continues his monologue.
You are strong enough to have joined me, but you lack the proper character. Consider this a character strengthening exercise.
I'm just tempted to just let these zombies kill me. Just before we head out the door, Jade reveals that she's bitten, which is not good because Crane is also turning as well. Rais gives a tremendous throw of antizin across the room, giving us a choice to save ourselves or Jade. Man, if only Crane had that extra antizin vial on him. You know, like the one he took from the airdrop in Act 1. Guess the writers missed the lesson on Chekhov's gun. Next thing you know, we're in a dream phase before we're sucked out by Jade's antizin injection. Rais sends a couple of henchmen in, and Jade goes out like the badass these writers dreamed her to be. Man, Crane makes snappy necks look easy. Instead of shooting Crane while he was distracted with Jade, Rais sends his second in command to finish the job, with just a machete. This is pretty easy work for Crane, but Rais escapes from the museum. We get the samples for Dr. Camden, but Rais still has the data we need. So it's time for the final showdown. But first we need to pad the runtime just a little longer. Since our building emoji didn't get any attention from the public, it's up to Crane to climb up another radio tower. We travel through sewers, unfinished textures, and frozen zombies. God, this level's a mess. This all comes down to scaling another giant radio tower.
Of course, it waits till I'm all the way up here to stop raining.
Finally. With the survivors of Haran saved, it's time to end Rais's poetry night once and for all. This time we need to get to Rais, and the way through is more sewers and yet, yeah, you guessed it, another tower. I mean, at least we get elevator music on the way up.
The music of suffering.
We ninja warrior ourselves to the top of Rais's building, which finally gets us to the man himself.
So, face to face again.
What was that? So let me get this straight. This game had us fight several bosses and enemies using an array of weapons and skills we've acquired, and the developers decided to make the final fight against this antagonist they've been hyping up all game to a simple QuickTime event. Okay, let's see where this goes. Yeah, okay, and he still gets stabbed. Are you kidding me? Okay, developers, if you don't want to put an effort into your endings of your game, then I won't put any effort into the ending of this video. Crane beat Rais, Rais die, Crane winner. Congratulations everyone, good night and good luck.